Shares of America's largest PC maker, Hewlett-Packard, or HP, hammered 12% after reporting disappointing fourth quarter earnings. But HP also dropped a bomb, which makes it even worse. Mark New joins us live from Silicon Valley for the details. Hi, Mark.
Phil, HP is accusing Autonomy, the British software maker it acquired last year for $11.1 billion, of falsifying its finances. HP CEO Meg Whitman said in an earnings statement that it felt terrible about the deal. HP's troubles come just days after the number 2 U.S. PC maker, Dell, also missed earnings and revealed further weaknesses. The PC market is taking a beating. Research firm IDC has just lowered its forecast for the PC market. Instead of 1% growth as originally forecast, IDC now says it's revised that to negative 2.6%, the first time the market has gone negative since 2001. Industry analysts say a tepid consumer response to Windows 8 is partly to blame.
You dive down into the details, what we're hearing from PC vendors and the supply chain and even some retailers is that the higher end Windows 8 PCs with touch capabilities are actually selling a little better than expectations, but the mainstream non-touch devices are selling worse than expectations. The problem is that's the majority of the market.
O'Donnell says both HP and Dell are suffering from complacency in their designs and doing especially poor in consumer sales. Last quarter, HP and Dell both lost shares in the overall PC market, while Asian PC makers Lenovo and Asus both gained.
What we've seen with some of the Asian manufacturers is they've gotten very innovative with their form factors and designs. We're also seeing a question of where the growth markets are. Some of those Asian vendors are more well positioned in the faster growing markets.
Another area where U.S. PC makers have failed is mobile. O'Donnell says HP gave up on its own Palm-inspired WebOS mobile operating system far too soon, despite buying Palm for $1.8 billion. Dell experimented with Android iOS, but never went all in and had zero impact in the smartphone market. Every analyst I've spoken to says it's going to take some time if Windows 8 is going to catch on, if it does at all. IDC does expect Windows 8 to give it a bit of a boost next year in 2013, but once again IDC's original forecast for next year in the global PC market was for it to grow by 6.5%. That was the original estimate. They've lowered that forecast again and dropped it to just 2.8%, so the news gets gloomier and gloomier for the PC. Phil.
Hey, Mark, it's no surprise that most of us, I assume you're the same, you're using the PC a little bit less and probably the iPads and smartphones a little bit more for emails and stuff. So for Dell and HP, I mean, this is what they do. They make PCs. They keep losing ground on market share. Is there really any realistic hope in sight that there could be a turnaround?
Well, as I mentioned in the piece, they were late to the game on the mobile markets, and that's a tough one to make up for. Now they're kind of pinning their strategies or their mobile strategy all on Windows 8 tablets. So they've got to wait for people to try and catch on to that whole new system, and people are very reluctant to change from one ecosystem to another ecosystem. Another thing that could give them a boost is actually, believe it or not, Windows 7, because support for Windows XP ends in 2014. So a lot of commercial enterprises are now only getting off Windows XP and moving towards Windows 7. You might think, well, why don't they just move toward Windows 8? Well, there's a lot of cost for training, writing new applications, and everybody getting used to a new system, and it may not just be worth the time and effort for enterprises to do that. Phil.
Mark, thank you. For more on the future of the PC market and other devices as well,